Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, the pain just doesn't fully go away? You try to move on, you distract yourself. You tell yourself, that was in the past. And for a while it works. But then something happens, a conversation, a memory, a situation, and suddenly, it's back. The same feeling, the same weight, the same emotional reaction. And you're left wondering, why does this keep coming back? The illusion of moving on. Most people believe that time heals emotional pain. That eventually things just fade. But if that were completely true, you wouldn't still be feeling what you feel today. Because real emotional pain doesn't just live in your memories, it lives in your system. That's the difference. You can forget an event, but still carry the emotional imprint of it. And that imprint continues to influence how you feel, how you react, and how you experience life. Where the pain actually stays. Let's go deeper. Emotional pain isn't just something you think about. It's something your whole system experiences, physically, mentally, emotionally. From early childhood, your system is constantly adapting to your environment. The quality of love, safety, attention, and connection you received or didn't receive shapes how your nervous system responds to the world. So if there was emotional distance, conflict, instability, criticism, lack of support, your system had to adjust. And those adjustments didn't disappear. They became part of your baseline. Why it feels like it never ends. Here's what most people don't realize. When emotional pain isn't fully processed or released, it doesn't just stay still. It repeats, not always in obvious ways, but through emotional triggers, relationship patterns, internal reactions, stress responses. That's why something small can feel so intense. Because you're not just reacting to the present moment, you're reacting to everything your system is still holding on to. It might not even be just yours now. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Some of what you feel may not have started with you. There is increasing awareness that experiences, especially intense or traumatic ones, can leave lasting imprints that extend through generations. Events like war loss, abuse, abandonment, fear, these don't just disappear from a family system. They can influence emotional patterns, behaviors, and even the way people relate to each other over time. So if you've ever felt a deep sense of anxiety without a clear reason, emotional heaviness that seems disproportionate, patterns that don't fully make sense, it's possible you're experiencing something that goes beyond your personal story. The deeper layer. Most people miss. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, so what do I do with this? And this is where most approaches fall short, because they focus only on the surface. They try to change your thoughts, your habits, your behaviors, but the root of emotional pain isn't just in what you do, it's in what your system is still holding. If the underlying imprint remains, the experience continues. Why fixing yourself doesn't work. You've probably tried something before. Maybe you've talked about your past, tried to stay positive, worked on yourself, tried to let it go, and yet something still lingers. That's not failure. It's a sign that the pain exists on a level that hasn't been fully addressed yet, because you can't think your way out of something that isn't just mental. The role of stored patterns. Think of emotional pain like a pattern stored in your system. It has a memory, an emotional charge, a way of being triggered, and until that pattern is released, it remains active. So your system keeps bringing you back to similar emotional states. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because the pattern is still there. What real change requires. If the pain exists on a deeper level, then the shift also has to happen at that level. It's not about forcing change. It's about allowing your system to let go of what it no longer needs to carry. And when that happens, the change feels different. You're not trying to feel better, you just do. The triggers lose their intensity, the emotional weight starts to lift. The same situations no longer affect you in the same way. What it feels like. When it starts to shift, people often describe it as feeling lighter, more shant, calm and steady, less reactive, more present. It's not that life becomes perfect. It's that you're no longer carrying the same emotional load into every experience. And that changes everything. You're not stuck. You're carrying something. If emotional pain has been with you for a long time, it's easy to believe. This is just who I am. But what if it's not? What if it's something you've been carrying rather than something you are? That distinction matters, because what is carried can be released. Final thought. Emotional pain that never seems to go away isn't random. It's a sign that something deeper hasn't been resolved yet. And once you begin to understand that, you stop blaming yourself and start looking in the right direction. If this gave you a new perspective, subscribe to the channel, because here we go beyond surface-level advice and explore the deeper patterns that shape your emotions, relationships, and life experience. And if you're ready to understand how these patterns can actually be addressed at their root, the level where they truly exist, there's more for you to explore. You'll find a resource in the description and in the pinned comment that connects directly to what we talked about today and goes deeper into how these emotional patterns can begin to shift. If you've been wondering why the pain never fully goes away, that's the next step to understanding what to do about it.